Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180. 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration intended to help you take action and make progress in your life. This is episode 708 of the Daily 180, and today I just want to talk very briefly. This might be a shorter one than some of the others. Yes, I'm in a different space, I'm in my office space, but I wanted to get this out this morning while it was still fresh in my mind. There've been a lot of times in my life where I hear something once and I say to myself, "Oh, that's interesting." Sometimes I hear it two or three times and I say, that's interesting. I need to come back and review this. When I hear something repeatedly, lots of people saying it, I say to myself, there's two reasons why that might be. Number one, it might just be the thing of the day, right? It might be a buzzword. It might be a thing that everybody's going to be chatting about. It might be something that, maybe it's the flavor of the month, right? Um, but then I hear things that are uh, consistently the same. I hear them from different directions. I hear them from different people. I hear them at different times. I hear them using different examples. I hear lots of different things. And then all of a sudden, the change in the way that I perceive that shifts from, oh, that's interesting, to this might be some powerful wisdom. And this starts as early as Marcus Aurelius in the Meditations, and as recently as looking at a post from James Clear in Atomic Habits. The idea is one small step. James Clear talks about 1% better. Leo Babautua on ZenHabits.net talks about change one thing. Michael Bungay-Stayner talks about making one small change. All of these people have talked about the power of one, change one thing. So often we look at all of the things that we want to talk about. And I was talking with my daughter about this yesterday. And we were looking at a situation and we were talking about all the things that need to be changed, all the things she wants to do different. And one of the things that, as we were talking about that, I said, well, that's good. But instead of looking at all of the things that need to be done different, can we pick one? Just one. Just one thing that we'll do different that we will repeat on a regular basis. Just one. Just one becomes powerful because even on the worst days, James Clear talks about this in his book, even on the worst days that things are going on, you can change one thing. You can make sure that one thing can get taken care of, that 1% improvement, that one small action. And I have watched this in my own life. And I think probably you've noticed it too. If you've ever had situations pop up like this, where you want to change something, you want to do something different, and you try and do all these different things. You try and do everything that you know that you need to do, put them all into place because that's what needs to happen, right? And then you get a little bit of space, you get a little bit of time, and you start saying to yourself, I just need to do one thing. Maybe that one thing is drink more water. Maybe that one thing is be more thoughtful about your meals. Maybe that one thing is skipping that one cookie, or making sure that you walk one time around the block. One thing. One of the things that I've done over the years as I've been talking with different individuals and classes and working around things is the idea of fundamentals and fine tuning. Fundamentals are those things that we do on a repeated basis, and when we do them, they form the foundation of success, whatever success is going to look like. And if you're curious about how I feel about success, you might take a look at one of the earlier ones that we did just recently, talking about the difference between success and prosperity. But leaving that alone, the idea is that if we can identify what the basics are and we can line those up in a way that we can do them on a regular basis, then we set the stage for the majority of success to occur. When I was learning basketball, I was an intellectual kid. I wasn't a terribly athletic kid, and I went to my gym class, and I was trying to pass the basketball skills test, and I couldn't do it. And in fact, my Coach Alvarez, looked at me and she said, "Wente, if you do not figure out how to pass the skills test, I am going to wreck your 4.0." And I couldn't tell whether she was happy or not about doing that. But one thing was sure, I wanted to protect my grades as best I could. And so I had the break between, we were approaching the Christmas break, and I knew that when we came back after the Christmas break, I was going to be tested. So during the Christmas break, I took a basketball and I spent 30 minutes practicing each of the skills. It took me an hour and a half a day. It was cold, but I was the only one on the basketball court, and I practiced those skills. All I did was do one thing for 30 minutes, one skill, one skill. That was all. When I came back after 7 days of doing that, I had mastered those basic things. And there were actually 5 skills, but it was just one at a time. Right now, for 30 minutes, I'm just going to practice jump shots. Right now, for 30 minutes, I'm just going to practice under the hoop. Right now, for 30 minutes, I'm just going to practice free throws. By doing that, by taking one thing, focusing my time on it, and just doing that one thing, I passed the basketball skills test. I developed the fundamentals. Folks, when it comes to our lives, that's all we're trying to do. One thing. One thing. Pick one thing that you can do. Do that better. Add that to your life. Let that become part of you. And then, after that one thing, if you've got room, maybe add one more. I hope this has been useful. If it has, share this around and tell us about it here in the comments. And if it hasn't, please come back. Give me another shot. Maybe we can come up with something else that we can talk about. In the meantime, this has been the Daily 180. My name is Todd Wente. Nulum Diem. We'll see you next time.